this time, I believe we have the introduction of contestants and give presentation by none other than your Miss Shannon Sentinel.
To all dignitaries, the Parliament representative for the StHilaire's, Scotland, Balliol and Point Michelle constituency, and the incumbent Minister of Tourism, the Honourable Denise Charles, DDA representatives, the head of DFC, Marva Williams, Father Mama, our assistant parish priest, my dear friends, Marisol John MissDominica2019, and my amazing StHilaire's family, welcome. It is indeed a great honor to be celebrated, to be admired and to be respected for environmental work that, in my humble opinion, is work in progress, and doing so in a realm that perhaps a year ago I would have never ever imagined myself engaged in. I know the nature of this event demands the delivery of my prosopography, considering many of the listening public still feel like they don't know who I am, as I was recently made aware. But here's the thing, I've always struggled with speaking about myself, primarily because of my fear of being perceived as boastful or a bit egocentric. But even more than that, I believe that if I have to tell you who I am, then I am not being myself. Let me explain. When you are truly and entirely yourself, and most importantly, you are cognizant of it, every ounce of your being radiates like the sun. And just as the sun emits that essential electromagnetic radiation to all the planets in our solar system, you too should be able to create and emits energy that can be seen and felt and used for others to grow. So who am I? I think you're getting the gist of what I speak. There is an old African saying, because you are, I am. And this has been ingrained in my mind ever since I read it in the book, We Will Tell Our Own Story, by the African author and clinical psychologist, Bayo Akumalafe. Because you are, I am. The emphasis on the importance of community, family, and the influence we have on each other's experiences. You see, one cannot merely exist on his or her own. And I truly believe that the person that I am today is because of a multitude of experiences. Those I had throughout my evolution, those transferred through relationships, and those inherited. I am because of what my ancestors were, what my parents are, and what my friends are. Their experiences, relationships, and interactions with the environment have directly influenced my reality, the shaping of my being. They have wired my brain to function in a way that I can exist in a conscious reality, and not the artificial structure defined by power and wealth and those who engineered it, that many of us call the real world or life. They, my family, my friends, you, have set the foundation for me to decipher what is right and what is wrong. So you see, it is a what and not a who. Who am I? I am Shannon StHilaire's. Period. What am I? I am the appendage of Vanessa Peltier and Sheehan StHilaire's. I am the descendant of the West African woman, strong and determined. The descendant of the Kalinaga woman, nurturing and wise. I am the product of the Sufi and Scotland communities, so rich, so blessed, and so beautiful above and below. I am a single cell existing among 7.5 billion others in this giant organism that we call Earth. A cell that has recognized that our planet is in fact diseased and that cancers must be removed. Acknowledge and assimilate the cyclicality of life, and to have nothing to fear, I promise. I devised this mantra whilst undergoing a bit of an existential crisis. I reflected on and questioned the truth, the law, the principles that we as a civilization must abide by. And I dissected the patriarchal complex so that I could decipher what is real and what is fabricated. I began drawing patterns, analyzing the things natural and unnatural, and tried to figure out exactly where we went wrong as a species. But the problem I quickly realized could not be found within the framework I was dissecting. There was no marker to indicate the beginning of our descent. The problem was the system itself. Why is there a beginning and an end? Defining our own bounds and creating limitations because we are too afraid to let nature take control. The natural world operates in a cyclical manner, so why aren't we? We breathe in and we breathe out and repeat. It is time to do away with the linear operating systems and linear thinking and adopt cyclical, regenerative systems. I have acknowledged and assimilated the cyclicality of life, believing wholeheartedly that everything that happened, is happening, and will happen is the work of nature. I believe that everything is connected, that we are all one and the same. Albert Einstein once said, a human being is a part of the whole, called us universe, a part limited in time and space. He experiences himself, his thoughts and feelings as something separate from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. Links, I like to make them, and that is why I ensure that every aspect of my participation in the Miss Dominica pageant correlated, that it was coherent and there was no contradictions. In my decision making, it was imperative for my sponsors to hold the same principles that I do, so that I could be an extension of their brands, and that we could build a relationship with a common goal. It was also important that I highlighted StHilaire's thriving economy. StHilaire is in fact one of the fastest developing communities in Dominica, with a unique, attractive, and lucrative tourism product. The idea of community and family is an integral part of my belief system. Both my maternal and paternal families are natives to the StHilaire community, and a few of my extended family members still reside here. I was absolutely elated to know of Jungle Bay's re-establishment in StHilaire, and I was even more overjoyed to know of the gainful employment some of my family members were able to attain because of this venture. The importance of community and collective action, I realized, was much a part of the Jungle Bay Code of Ethics, as it is mine. That is why choosing to represent StHilaire in the national pageant, rather than my actual place of residence, was a no-brainer. It was also why approaching Mr. Raphael with my sponsorship request was a no-brainer. I was pretty confident he would have said yes, and he did. I am forever grateful. The mission of Jungle Bay Resort is to enhance the natural environment and improve the livelihood of surrounding communities so that the region is improved in a sustainable way while providing quality, comfortable, nature-based experiences for guests. Keeping their social and environmental responsibility central in its operational model rather than profit maximization. And yes, luxury and minimalism in the business framework is possible. Jungle Bay is the perfect example. A 5-star resort that provides all the necessary amenities to the affluent visitor whilst maintaining a low ecological footprint. And that's forward thinking. The StHilaire Spotted Marine Reserve is the engine of the community. It is our bank. We depend on its resources for our lifestyles, and for our local economy. And that is why conserving it is fundamental. Nature Island Dive, my most recent sponsor, has contributed immensely to the development and promotion of the Soufriere community, and doing so with a product that affords benefits to all stakeholders involved in the SSMR, and without compromising or interfering with the natural activities of the marine life. The proprietors of Nature Island Dive, Wendy and Simon Walsh, must be commended for their strides in the community and the SSMR. At our initial meeting, Wendy and Simon enlightened me on how they've managed to contain the lionfish population. As some of you may know, the lionfish is an invasive species originating from the Pacific Ocean. And because it has no real predators in our waters, it preys on our beautiful reef fish. While discussing the various ways Nature Island Dive utilizes the lionfish for cuisine, Wendy presented me with a beautiful pair of lionfish fin earrings. One of Nature Island Dive's star dive instructors and conservationist, Desiree, saw the beauty of the lionfish and figured out a way to bring it to you in a fashionable form. During the filleting process, she removes the fins, dries them, and prepares them to accept color. Her creative technique for fashion fins into finery has been a hit, and more importantly, it helps support the continued monitoring and culling of the lionfish from our Caribbean reefs to keep our marine environment in balance. I absolutely love the fact that something that is traditionally classified as waste transformed into something wearable. And I am so grateful that the Nature Island Dive agreed to gift each of my fellow contestants a pair of lionfish fin earrings. Lastly, to my team, you guys are just amazing. I couldn't ask for a better group of people to guide me along this journey. Ayo, Letitia, Wanda, happy birthday! 20 years old today. Judy, Lynthia, Mrs. Irish, Miss Aaron, Mrs. Robinson, Ayola, Miss Jacob, Genevieve. Each of you means so much to me. You took the time to understand my personality and ensure that it wasn't discounted with my contesting. I won't go any further with my gushiness because that would take another 10 minutes. But I love you all and you will be successful. Thank you to everyone who came out to support me today. It means the world. This isn't about me, it's about all of us, my family.
Make some more noise, please. Yes, sir. This